Okay, good evening. Day 10 without my booze is coming to a close. It's going on 5 o'clock at night on this Friday night, August the 21st. It's been a pretty darn good day. Pretty good day indeed. Took off for work this morning after making the video this morning and my morning video, and had a good day. Had a real good day. You know, it was real clear. I could see stars shining, and when I got up to where I work, I work in a smaller town than I live in. So there's not as much light, and I was able to stand outside my car and look at the night sky and the early morning sky, because the sun was not even ready to come up yet. And it was very dark out there, and I was able to see a lot of the constellations, and I know a lot of them. I studied astronomy quite a bit in the past, and I know a lot of the constellations. My favorite is Orion, and right now Orion is just starting to come up in the eastern sky in the early morning hours, and that's a sign that winter's on the way, and it certainly is. Won't be very long, and it's gonna be cold in here. Won't be able to run around in my underwear anymore, that's for sure. In fact, I'll be wearing a coat to bed. I don't really heat my house up. I mean, I eventually get tired of it and turn the heat on, but it's really expensive to heat it up, and I just kind of put up with it and just hang out in the cold. And I kind of like it, but it does get old by, December, January. I'm pretty fed up with the cold and start heating the house up. But anyway, be that as it may, had a good day. It was really nice this morning. I woke up at 1:30 and, no, 12:30. And then I went out there and I sat in a chair and sat there and napped until 3 o'clock this morning while watching a couple of Leave It to Beaver episodes. And it was nice to do that. Sometimes I actually make coffee and drink coffee and nap between cups of coffee. And there's something about that. There's something about getting that coffee first thing in the morning, and it kind of gives you a buzz, kind of wakes you up, and then you start coming down and you go to sleep. There's something about that is kind of enjoyable. This morning I didn't have coffee, I just had water. Well, I did have coffee eventually, but at that time I was just having water. Anyway, went to work. Excuse me. Had a really good day at work, in fact. I was able to get out of there about 11:30. I came home and I grabbed what was left of that pizza. I broke it out a couple of days ago, that Winco pizza. Remember a couple of weeks ago I bought that? Well, the last 3 pieces I froze, and then I was going to save that for lunch, and I had it for lunch today. And I gotta say, it's not very good. Frozen. Well, I mean, after you freeze it and thaw it back out, it definitely loses a lot of flavor. Not that it's the greatest pizza in the world anyway, but it was okay. I will probably buy more of those this winter, as I like to use my oven during the winter to heat up my house. And so this morning I was sitting there in my chair looking at the kitchen, and I suddenly got a good idea. I'm gonna take this shelving out of here and replace it with Grandma's old 1950 sewing machine. We've talked about that, and I've got 2 more of these. One out in the living room. No, one. I got 2 more of these out in the living room. This one here is taller. The one the TV's on is taller than all the rest. And then this one here, like the others out there, are the same. Well, I've just got this wild idea about taking and putting this. I'm going to take the island. One of these is the island in the kitchen. I'm going to take that out of there, and then I'm going to arrange these in a specific way in the dining room to... Well, I'll just have to show you, but I'm going to change things out there as well. So we're going to do that either Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure which. We're going to get this out of here. We're going to clean it. Clean that area. Put the sewing machine in there. I don't use a sewing machine. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. I'm not gay or anything. I don't sew. I don't know the first thing about it, but I simply inherited that machine. It was my grandmother's. I never saw her using it. It's a 1950 as near as I can tell. Then my mother inherited it in 1981. Or no, I'm sorry, 1984. My grandmother was 81 when she died in 84. So then my mother ended up with it. But my mother never used it because she had her own sewing machines. So it just sat there, and so then I kind of inherited it several years ago, and I wanted it because it's a nice looking table type thing, but I never had any intentions of sewing on it. But I did get it out and set it up one day and wanted to try it out, and at first I couldn't get it to even budge. You know, you would turn it on, hit the foot pedal thing, or the leg knee thing, whatever, it has both, and it would just sit there and go rrr. So I had to help the machine along, and I finally got it to where it'll run pretty good. It seems pretty free now. It just hadn't been, I bet it hadn't been ran since I was a kid. And anyway, so we have that, and so we'll put this in here, and it's just a table. That's all it is. It's not in real good shape either because it's been abused and everything by us, you know, stuff put on it, and it's scratched up and it's got stains on it. It's not perfect by any means, but you know, when I got that, my original thought was to sell it, put it on Craigslist or something. Well, don't even waste your time because those things are a dime a dozen. They're all over Craigslist. Machines older, machines newer, in-cabinet machines like that. Some of them are in very much nicer shape than this is a Singer, of course, and you know, and they sell for approximately $25 for the whole kit and caboodle. So there's no point in selling it. It makes a nice table, but it's not worth diddly. It's really funny. They're just so plentiful around. There's a never-ending supply of them. So I forgot to do something. I got to set my alarm. And let's just get up right now and do that. Oh, the one last thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, good gravy getting out of bed. It's not easy once you get in there. But anyway, one last thing I wanted to talk about is I do have a tremendous amount of work to do tomorrow. And if I want to possibly get out of there in time to come home and have some lunch like I did today and watch Emergency, watched a couple episodes of Emergency on the little DVD player. It was kind of fun, but didn't really nap much. Alright, let's get up! Ugh, I'm tired. I'm worn out. So we need to set our alarm. Alright.
And if that's the case, then maybe the Lord won't bless you with riches.
Okay, let's set it. Yeah. 1:30, yeah. We need to be up by 1:30. And getting myself going, I'm not going to have much time to... Oh, my legs hurt. Anyway, I'm not going to have much time to sit around and fiddle around in the morning. I'm get up at 1:30. I'm going to have to stay up, and then by 3 a.m. I need to be getting in the bathroom and doing everything I need to do in there, and cleaning up and getting dressed and getting ready to go by no later than quarter after. I need to be getting to work by about 3:30 in the morning, because I'm going to have an awful lot to do, and there is a special project we're doing tomorrow, and it's happening in the morning, but it's not like my regular Thursday special project. It's different, but it's a special project nonetheless. So I need to get my butt in there, get going, get working on that stuff, and I should be able to get out of there by about noon, maybe even earlier. And because I just want to come home and relax and get ready for Sunday. So Sunday morning we'll hang out. Sunday morning we'll hang out here and we'll clean the camera out and do some other editing and stuff, and go in later like I always do. So one last thing, I've been really enjoying playing on my Android tablet every day now. I've been bringing up that flight simulator game. It's called Flight Pilot Simulator, and it's an Android app, and I guess it's a Google Play thing. I don't know how that works, but I did learn how you don't have to save anything. You just shut the game off and it automatically saves, I guess. So I've gotten up to another level. I think I'm at level 5 now. It's really hard to keep track of how it works, but the missions that you go on are harder and harder. I spent about 15 tries trying to complete the first mission I got on today, because it's a mission of you're taking off in a big Boeing 747, you're the pilot, and shortly after you take off you get a message that one of the left engines, there's a problem with it, and before you can really figure out what's going on, the engine catches on fire. Now the plane's really hard to control. It's a real mess, and they're saying, okay, you've got about 2 minutes to get this plane landed and on the ground. Well, it's impossible to turn around and go back to the airport. I tried that numerous times. It's just impossible to do it, because you can't fly the plane. As soon as you lose that left engine, all of a sudden it wants to start doing this, so now you're fighting it and you're trying to get it back, and then the plane's just like, it's just going everywhere. And if you try to climb, it just, and you try to turn, then it's your nose it's just fucked. Sorry, I don't mean to use such language, but it is. It's very difficult, and it took me about 15 times to get this thing landed, and you gotta just land it in a field. And I finally got it landed, and then I was able to go on to the next mission. And now I'm on level 5, and I played the first 4 missions. But now I don't have enough money to get on to the final mission of that, because you got to buy this. I got to buy a Learjet, and I'm about $300,000 short on money. So I'm having to take these little jobs, flying people around, and flying missions that pay money in order to get enough money so I can move on to the big mission, the Learjet mission. And yesterday it took me a long time to move on to get enough money to buy this Boeing 747, just to spend all this time failing the mission because I couldn't bring it back. But it's kind of funny. You got to buy the plane you fly. But anyway, it's all fun. I enjoy it. So currently, I left off. I'm flying around to different airports trying to make money, just picking up these little jobs that they offer. I just got hired to fly 4 people from one airport to an aircraft carrier and land on an aircraft carrier, and it's fun. It's enjoyable. So that's Flight Pilot Simulator, and it's an Android app for your Android tablet or phone or whatever. I have a tablet, so it's fun. I enjoy it. All right, I'm going to call it a day here. I'm going to get on to an episode of Hawaii 5-0. And I believe I got 2 more episodes before I get to the last one, in which my favorite character is killed off the show, unfortunately. So let's see where we left off. We finished the episode finally, and it was a pretty good one. So quickly this is a great show. I really enjoy these type of shows in the evening. This and Perry Mason, the original Perry Mason, the original Mission Impossible. We got Quincy. We got Adam 12 and Dragnet, and another series I'm trying to get completed, and that's the Mod Squad. I've only got the first 2 seasons of that, and they haven't came out with anything more. We got Emergency there. We got lots of stuff. We got Barnaby Jones. That's another great one, but they've only released the first season. They haven't released anything more. Okay, so we're on My Friend the Enemy. We're gonna watch that. And then after that, A Stranger in His Grave. And then the final episode, the one where Chin Ho Kelly, that's him right there. Yeah, that's where he's going to be killed off in the series. That's A Death in the Family. So I kind of hate to watch that one, but oh well. He's gone in real life too. He died some years ago, so... Okay, well, let's shut this off and start rambling. Stop rambling. And we'll be back in the morning with a brief video before we take off for work. So, for August 21st, my 10th day without beer, I bid you a good night.